When you talk about the richness of Africa, Africa is not just a location. It's not just the land, but it's the people that make up Africa. As the NFL comes over to do these camps, it's very much the people that we're focusing on.
Following my dreams through the prize. If you see me in the skies, don't be surprised. This gift is nothing guaranteed. Hopes and dreams not meant to be. I need to take this journey, it's my life. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Look at what's happened here. Look at how incredible this is. A year ago, nobody would have ever imagined that this was possible, but look at where we are right now. This is incredible, and we're here because of you. We're here to give you an opportunity to change your life. There's no infrastructure here in Africa to identify the top athletes like there is in the West. So we had these camps in Nigeria, we had them in Senegal, South Africa, Kenya. We went to all these different countries and had skeleton camps, and this is where we're able to get the talent from to come to this main camp in Accra.
I relate myself to who they are because I was very hungry growing up to provide for my family. I feel like for them, they see this opportunity as I can do something to change my family's life, and that's what I'm out here working so hard, trying to take the next step to get to where we are. When you load up, when you jump, you want to jump out so you can get as much distance. If you're just jumping high, your distance won't be far.
We have well over 100 players of African descent in the NFL. It represents 10% of your labor force. How can you have 10% of your labor force with direct ties to one particular region and nobody's doing anything in that particular region? It doesn't really make any sense. And so this is the reason why we had to address this issue.
It's important to be a part of this trip because I'm from Ghana, so these guys have a exemplar to be able to say, hey, this guy is also from where I'm from. I mean, we can do the same things that he did and even better.
There it is. Good touch. Come on. There we go.
That's good. That's good. That's good. It's just basically like a circle. We take the guys who are in the NFL of African descent, we market them over here, we give them the opportunity to be known, and so we bring them back to Africa, we let them see where they're from, and in the other instance, we're giving the people the opportunity to better themselves.
In Africa, there's so much untapped potential that just wouldn't get exposure otherwise. Being able to come and connect with these guys, especially being African, that's really important. But when you land, you lean back, that's where your body's gonna go. There you go, that's perfect.
You know, I never would have thought the game would have brought me back here. I thought I would be back here for maybe a different reason, just to visit family or just to see the land, but no. I'm in here inspiring a whole new country. I'm showing them a different way of life, and that's huge for me, and I'm happy to be a part of that journey.
There we go.
Well, I think there's two goals for this trip. First, to find talent. The second goal was a personal goal, and I think for everyone it was different. For me, it was to figure out the culture, kind of where I'm from, where my family, my ancestors came from.
These guys have been raised in America, all of them. And so even though they have very strong ties to Africa, it was important for them to come and see what's going on the ground here. Football is a big part of it, there's no doubt about that, but it's the connection of people and the understanding of people and the ability to bring people together and celebrate something. I think that's really the ideology behind what NFL Africa really stands for.
Man, look at all this, man.
I didn't expect this coming out here. Now we've seen how beautiful it really is.
I probably would have never, ever been out here if we didn't get to come out here for this trip. I didn't think any of this was out here. It's beautiful.
Coming here is important. Like, you can't get this in the city. This view is beautiful.
It's definitely key, man. It's definitely key. It's like, you know, West Africa, it's a deep place just to not only understand that we're from this land, but to understand that this is the same land to which we left.
One thing I focused on was ball, but now it's like eyes is open to so many different things. It's like you can really like change the world or impact different things. And when you coming out, it's just all about football, playing, but there's more things to life than just that.
The purpose is like giving back to the community in any way that we can, whether it's with knowledge. We was telling folks a lot of stuff other than football. You know, we talk to them about everyday life. They ask us questions about what it's like to be in America. That's important because now they're living through you. If they can't go over there, they're living through you. So now when you come back, you give them that story.
They're asking me like, what did you do for your mom when you signed your contract? You know, stuff
there you
like
go.
that. It was cool, yeah, you know.
That's fine. That's fine. That's what it's about right there.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We were riding down here, and it was a slum that we passed by, and it actually just hit me. You know, I was like, some of these guys are actually going to be in the United Kingdom, going to the NFL Academy. They're going to be in America on the International Player Pathway Program, or they're going to be back there. Like the dichotomy and the difference between those two places and those two ideas, it hits you and you realize you're like, only a handful of these guys are going to be able to make it. That's what's at stake here for some of these guys. A lot of them are coming from a situation you can't even really imagine. It's hard to describe. Maybe in the Western world, you think you understand struggle, but over here, we really understand what that is.
I had an incident here that I was kidnapped by the herdsmen. You know, sometimes in Nigeria, when you say that the insecurity is alarming, you'll be like, I don't really believe that. So, but I was a witness, witnessing the death of 2 people in my presence and escaping in the forest when they were taking me to their camp.
It's all been a struggle, having to eat. I mean, if we get to eat 1 square meal a day, that's like a miracle. Lots of nights we go to bed hungry. I just drink water, and then I'd lie on my stomach. It just kind of helps me.
I lost a friend last year. And I could be him, that could be me. But while that happened in Delta, I was in Abuja, training, playing football. I would like to help my family. Yeah. In the future, I would like to give my kids a better life, a different life from what I had. It means everything to me. It means everything. Yeah.
Life isn't the easiest, especially where they're coming from, and you just gotta push through and keep your head down and keep working. Growing up, my mom used to say that one prayer, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and you just have to really embody that and really believe in that. My mom, when she was about 12 years old, a civil war broke out in her country, and that caused her to flee to Sierra Leone. She was there for a couple of years, and then the war followed them there. And then she had to move to Guinea, and that's where I was born before coming to America. It was very tough for her, just being scared all the time, people wanting to hunt you down, and your family dying in front of your eyes. The world that you once knew, it was over, it was crashing down all around you. She was just trying to keep her boys safe. My mom was trying to bring her boys to a new land that they can rest their head peacefully at night, to give us the opportunity to become somebody.
There's a lot of incredible people who are actually trying to push the content forward that people just don't talk about. So for us to be able to see that and see the different sides of Africa is an extremely important thing.
My name is Sandy Alibo. I'm the founder of the collective Surf Ghana. I built this skate park 6 months ago. So the park is free, actually. I think it's really important because we want to give an easy access to sports. Yeah. So it's really encouraging for a sport that we consider still as a niche in Ghana. So you can grab a skateboard and join the fam, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so let's go.
From like 12 to 17, I skateboarded.
So you can like kick flipping?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now. Yeah.
Man, I got the basics down, but doing the tricks and stuff, I'm gonna do it to Obo. He backed it up, I thought he was capping at first, but he can actually skate.
It just feels real full circle, you know? Made me feel like, just like, you know, back in the day when I was a teenager and I would be at the skate park, like when the sun came up to when it came down, just skating with my friends. I could see myself in them, you know? For a second, I forgot I was an NFL player, you know? I was hesitant to start playing football because what I thought about football players was that they were jocks. They were gonna like bully me because I was different. But then after I started playing, I met some of my lifelong brothers. Maybe I was judging them. I think everybody isn't just one thing. Everybody's layered. It's just having the courage to express yourself and let people see all sides of you. A lot of people try to fit into places, and I feel like places should try to fit you in.
It's incredible what Sandy and her team has been able to do with this park, to have this as a free thing where kids can come in. It's just beautiful. That's kind of what we're doing here with American football, trying to expand it, get more people to know about the sport so that they can create other opportunities for themselves.
I see the family that they've created here. Really powerful, and the way they welcome me is really cool, it's beautiful.
When it rains, these areas over here flood like crazy. And you'll still see the farmers in the field while it's raining. Sometimes we'll be looking for Josh, and Josh will be somewhere over here or not even close to the house. He might be in the field helping one of the people. All he knew was to help people. So that's what he was thinking about. You know, he don't even speak the language. The language I speak is help. That's what he spoke. Last time I was here in Ghana, I got the news that my brother had been murdered back in the States. My brother was somebody that was very near and dear to me. The feeling that I wish I was in the States with him, that's always a recurring theme for me. But at the end of the day, you have to put certain thoughts in certain places for certain times. And that's how you get through it. This tree right here, I took a picture. It was one of the most distinct trees I had seen here. In Kwamina.
Yeah, Kwamina, yeah.
Him and Josh was walking like literally right here. I took a picture back there. This is our road, man. We walked down this road so many times. I'll be jump over right here. And literally we'll see who can go the longest. It's crazy that like one road can have so many like memories.
Jeremiah's father, that's the house. Yeah. And so the last time they were here in Ghana, him, the father, and Josh, this is where they came to. We had the sad news about Josh's demise, which was actually very sad to hear, you know. But we take it in good faith.
Me, my brother, and Josh took a photo right here.
Yeah.
Josh right here, my dad right here, I was right here. I was just like this. I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was trying to explain the difference between an adventure and a journey. You know, like you're on this adventure, you need to do this and do that. And I'm like, I'm on a journey. An adventure has no destination. Doing exciting things, doing unusual things, but in the journey, the vision is clear, the mission statement is clear. And that's what he represented for me, was he was somebody that was clear on how he wanted to treat people around him and was clear about how he wanted to display himself in public and how he wanted to be known to all people. So we as Africans, you know, have that ancestral God. It's not some type of mystic or some type of voodoo or all that stuff. It's more so, it's within us. It's who we are. It's in our blood. It's in our breath. It's in our deepest essence. So, yeah.
And this country, Ghana, the focus is mainly on soccer. So you coming here, I think is an opportunity for us to also learn this game and then also promote it in our schools.
But flag football, for me, is the next generation. The infrastructure to play contact football is not just here in Africa right now, just yet. So to see that happening here and understanding that flag is probably going to be the easiest path to growth for the sport on the continent is just an exceptional thing, and I was very happy to see that.
To see flag football in this country is amazing. I played flag football a little bit as a kid growing up, so I know how fun and competitive it can really be.
Yeah, where you gonna go, huh?
They were in the Q&A asking a million questions. Oh my gosh, what is this? How does this work? You can do that? They were in a maze.
So I play on the defensive side, and I play what's called a linebacker.
So you actually need the mouth guard or you don't need the tattoo?
Yeah, if you get hit there, you don't have a mouth guard, you know it's gonna hurt. But you wanna wear it so that doesn't happen. I would just advise you guys to always keep working on your skills. You know, there's so much you can learn, there's so much you can get better at. So always keep practicing, always keep training, and never give up.
It was cool to see that, you know, to help teach a different sport that they've never heard of or seen before. People were starting to realize, oh my gosh, I can do this. You know, where they had to hold the ball, change direction, they had to hit the bat and had to avoid and try to make a move. So a lot of those kids were very athletic. And maybe in the next 10 years, we'll be here, you know, picking them to come to the U.S. and Academy.
I didn't really have any expectations coming into this camp, but now that I'm seeing all these guys working out and putting in the work, it's surreal to be able to see their growth in just a short period of time. A lot is at stake for these guys. You know, they've been putting in the hours of hard work. You know, they've been waiting for this opportunity, and it's here right in front of them.
I definitely see the hunger in them. These guys want this really bad, you know, and I feel it.
Just the competitive desire, the competitive spirit, the ability to fight is like something I've never ever seen before.
Time for talking is over. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Let's get it cracking, yeah? Yes, sir. All right, man, let's go. Africa on 3. 1, 2, 3. Africa! Plant. Boom. Plant. Go. Easy for a second.
Got it. Wait, is that your best? You go.
Whoa!
This is crazy.
The competitive spirit is here and it's alive and it's unbelievable. The willingness to attain information and then really go out in the field and actually do what you were taught. Crazy.
You not scared? Is you scared?
Shook, hold line.
Ain't no confidence boosters over here.
We're the first ones off the bus.
Ain't no confidence boosters over here.
It's about to be a funeral over here.
I got that line one.
You're moving. You're a better athlete than this. You're a better athlete than this.
Nothing after that.
He's out of there. That's a good rush.
Outside rush, we're out of here. Yes, sir. Come on. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, go. We out of here. Yeah. It's just that hurt. He's out of here. Take your L the way I took mine. It's okay. Yeah! Let's go, bud. We got this.
The trip to Cape Coast is extremely emotional. I think a lot of people don't really realize what happened there. It happened so long ago, so people tend to forget the horrors of slavery and the things that these people went through. It's hard to describe. You have to go there and see for yourself.
I officially welcome you to Cape Coast Slave Castle. Cape Coast Slave Castle was established by the British in 1665. The British came to West Africa in the name of enslaving the Africans for the purposes of the transatlantic slave trade. Before what you are standing is the male slave dungeon. In a male slave dungeon, we're as many as 1,000 men. In a female slave dungeon, we're as many as 500 women. The floor that leads to the male dungeon is very slippery, so you walk slowly. You take your time. Please come.
We're right on the beach, and you can feel the waves, you can feel the breeze. But once you go walk into those dungeons, it was so hot in there. You could just feel the horrible conditions that they were in.
The male slave dungeon was a place of terror and death. The African men were here for 3 months. These were they slept, ate, and defecated. And what I'm going to show you will shock you. Can you all see these bricks? You see the bricks in the first chamber? It is estimated that over 4 million West Africans were shipped off from Cape Coast Castle alone. And this is where they were eating, sleeping, bleeding, vomiting, dying. So their decomposition of human waste eventually became that dark floor and carved all the bricks. In the year 1974, a group of archaeologists came here and excavated the floor of the first chamber. The archaeologists left this small portion as a reminder. This contains the traces of DNA of our ancestors.
That really hurt me. When I looked down at it, I just saw the brick floor, how it looked paved over. I thought it was paved over, but it was just so much history we were walking over, I think that's when it got real for me.
I'm going to put a light out for us to see how the male slave dungeon looks like when the 1,000 enslaved African men were held in a place like this. Now look, the only source of ventilation and light were these 3 windows up there. They cried. They were lying on the floor. Some of them refused to eat the food that was given to them. What is very shocking is that on top of the dungeon, the British traders built a church. There were many times where the African men would cry out loud, looking for help, but they couldn't help them. They were trapped here until the slave ships came to ship them off to the Americas. This is the infamous door of no return. The moment our ancestors walked through this door, there was no place of return. In West Africa, over 12 million were shipped off to the Americas. Today, we are going to walk through a door millions of our ancestors walked through and never came back. But I've come to tell you that black energy never dies. Please come.
To see the door of no return. Throughout my life, you hear stories that are passed down through generation to generation. You read books, you talk to other people of African descent. But those books, they don't hit you like the smell does, like the touch does, like the feeling does when you walk in there. The truth is here.
Today, we have a door we call the door of return. This is a symbolic movement in order to urge the global African diaspora to come back to where the ancestors were taken from.
They put the door of return on the outside to welcome the ancestors from here to, be welcomed back to their country.
Akwaba. I'm going to let you touch the walls with your right hand for just 12 seconds. We do not worship our ancestors. But when you come in a place like this, we touch the walls in order to reconnect with them. Just tell the ancestors the reasons why you're here. Just let them know you have not forgotten to return. This should be, and this is a life-changing journey.
There were some points there where I was getting a little misty and sad and frustrated and upset. But as we got going more and more, just seeing the resiliency of our people, it's amazing.
Definitely had a heavy heart when I was down there. I couldn't imagine being in those environments. I don't know how some of them made it through all the way to the end. Black Americans should definitely come to the country and educate themselves, because some of the stuff I would have never learned in the book.
It's really important to know this history. When I was in there, it was like times I just wanted to step out, you know? Times I felt like I was gonna throw up. Just thinking about all the pain and suffering that was going on right where we were walking around. Then it's like I walk out and I see all these happy children playing them just right here where it happened. So if they can accept the history and know that they'll never let it happen again, and, you know, I felt like I could do the same.
It was special. And, you know, to me, I think that's the one thing that I'm gonna teach my children, right? And I'm gonna teach the kids that I'm able to reach, that go back, figure out who you are, where you come from, what it was like. You just see things in a different light when you have this type of experience. And so I'm very grateful for their sacrifice. And to me, that was the most important thing.
Everybody who came, their lives have been changed by this. There's some people who've never left America. There's some people who've never been to this continent. And your first foray out of America is into this continent and into this situation, and this is your welcome. It's just been an exceptional journey, and I'm just so happy to have been a part of this.
Africa woke something up in me. I always wanted to do stuff. I never really knew what or how. I feel like after this, it's almost like my duty to be able to give back to Africa.
I've grown in so many ways. As I got to college, got to NFL, you kind of start to forget a little bit of where you came from. And coming here and seeing how grateful these kids are brought me back down to earth. And, you know, this is real life, and I was happy I came on this experience.
I think the change for me in this trip has really been the responsibility factor and how important that is for not only me, but those guys that are also coming from the NFL, those guys that are also from the continent of Africa, to give back.
This is where our ancestors are from. It has meaning. Anytime I come back to the motherland, it just brings me closer and closer to this place.
The biggest takeaway is the relationships that we were bonded and created here probably will go on forever. Those are things that we take for granted, and so I try to hold those in high regard.
I expected this to happen. I knew what this continent had. I knew the people here. I knew what they were going to do. I knew they would deliver. Everybody just coming together and pulling in one direction is something that you just don't see. And we're going to continue to see it, because we're going to continue to do this in a multitude of different countries across the continent.